This is about Oklahoma City holdover, man. Oklahoma City holdover, so you understand. When they moving us out west or from the west to the east, you must go through Oklahoma City holdover. Just so you understand where we at. Alright? If you're not subscribed, subscribe. I use and respond to the number on the screen. 347-207-5360. But be ready to send the cash app because the game is to be sold and my time is too valuable. They got to be a green, they got to be a little green checkered box next to my name. If it's a picture of my name, it's not me, damn it. All right. Unique Mecca audio, man. Let me get out this joint. All right, Unique Mecca audio, man. I'm gonna tell you about Oklahoma City holdover. Oklahoma City holdover. Before that, the holdover was in El Reno, you know. But you know, we talking about January 3rd, 1995. The first time they sent me through Oklahoma City holdover, I was on my way to ADX Supermax for allegedly stabbing 2 police and starting a big crack law riot in Lewisburg. So I'm on the way there, and they fly me from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania on a big-ass Learjet all the way to Oklahoma City. When we pulled up, I don't know where I'm going, so they got me in a black box. I got to do a video about the black box. I'm going to show you it. It's a black box that they put on your wrist so that your arms can't move from this position. So you can't get to the handcuff key with a bobby pin or, you know, a paper clip or whatever to try and bust the lock. So they put them in a black box. An inmate made that black box. Yes, an inmate violated us and made that black box. And you know what that inmate gets? Gunshot, gunshot, gunshot for working with the peoples. You know what I mean? You know, that's how this thing works, man. But now they get me to Oklahoma. When I get there in the plane land, I'm excited because I want to see where I'm going, but I know I'm going on the ground, you know what I mean, for 5 years to Supermax, you know, for my alleged actions. We get to Oklahoma, and when we fly in, all I see is a big building, like a downtown New York or Chicago or LA building, like a skyscraper. So I wonder, where's the jail? You know, they pull up at this building. It's a building. And when they pull up at the building, a tarmac comes from the side of the building and the plane pulls up next to it and the tarmac connects to the plane and they take us out the plane. Of course, being that I was maximum security, I was one of the first ones off the plane with the other brothers that was going to ADX or Marion when I was going. You know what I mean? So now they take us off the joint and I'm walking with shackles, metal shackles on my feet and metal handcuffs connected to a black box on my wrist. And all I'm wearing is like one of those little hospital shirts you see the people that work in the hospital wearing, the same type of little stretch pants. So when I had to use the bathroom on the airplane, I couldn't even use my hands to pull my pants down. I damn near, you know, peed on myself trying to get it in the urinal. You know? If you got to defecate, you really in trouble. Because imagine trying to be in a plane, you know what I mean, thousands of feet in the air, and you trying to, you know, pee in this little thing, so you're peeing all over the joint. Then you got defecating, you hit turbulence, and the joint jump you up, and you defecating all over the seat. And then the next man come in there saying he got to use the bathroom, and this is what he got to go behind. This is how filthy it is. So if you youngins want to be involved in this, y'all go ahead. But you know, like you see in the movie Con Air was 100% on point. If you want to understand and know what I'm talking about, go watch that Nicolas Cage movie Con Air. You know what I mean? The planes wasn't set up like that, though. The planes was set up more just like a regular commercial plane. where you got seats in there, because they didn't change nothing. They'll put the seats and strap us down in there. Now, let me tell you something about that. They got us flying in the airplane, right? Now, we hit a couple of turbulence real bad, right? And the marshals is who's on the plane. That's who's moving us, the United States Marshals. You know, when you hear marshals, you just think of it and just like it's nothing. But the marshals is like, you know, back in the cowboy movies when they put together a posse and go get the bad guys, and dudes become deputized and they become U.S. Marshals, like Texas Rangers, but they call them marshals. So, you know, that's what the equivalent of as. Cash App on the screen, man. Must have the little green checkered box next to my name. If it's a picture of me, it's not me. It's not my account. Now, dude is sitting there, so you understand, and we hitting the turbulence, and I see the marshals taking their seat cushions, you understand, putting it on their backs, getting their oxygen gear, and we're sitting there, and the plane is going crazy. And here go these dudes about to jump out the plane and leave us handcuffed and shackled on the plane to go down with the plane in the ocean. So that's how you want to live your life. Feel free to live your life like that. But it was that crazy. You understand what I'm saying? That the marshals, they got permission to jump off the plane, pilot everybody, leave the plane, put an auto fly, and just dump us off. You know what I mean? That's how crazy it is. But anyway, so we get there, we, you know, got to go hobble through the joint with the shackles on and the handcuffs, and we go to this big platform that's about this high off the ground, and you step up on the platform, you got these big old white dudes sitting there, and they all got water bottles, you know, chewing tobacco and sunflower seeds. Y'all remember them, y'all been in the system. All these police, they chew tobacco and got sunflower seeds in their mouth. And they spitting sunflower seed tobacco in it. And like I told y'all before in previous videos, dudes get that water bottle, drain the spit out from them spitting in the bottle. You know what I mean? Squeeze all the spit out, you know, and then put it in the microwave, let it dry out, and then smoke it to get whatever nicotine is left behind with their tuberculosis and everything else. You know what I mean? That they had in their, you know, in their saliva when they spit in the bottle, and dudes is sitting there smoking it, and dudes is spending $10 for what they call a little dust joint of that joint. That's how bad it is in prison. So if y'all want to go ahead and be my guest. But I'm telling you it's not worth it. So you can't say I'm promoting go to prison. I'm trying to prevent you from going by telling you the real undercover that you don't know. So when you go through that joint, you stand on that little box they got. And you got a bunch of police there. Might be 5 of us stand up, and first thing they do is, you know, one take off the handcuffs, and the other police, because they so lazy, is sitting down on a little chair or a milk crate, and then the other one is taking off the shackles, you know what I mean, with the joint. Remind me to tell you about my co-defendant, you know what I mean, that escaped from Virginia Beach. Write that down, you know, put in the comments and remember that. You know, I got to get my sister to write that down. About my co-defendant escape from down in Virginia, because that was the first time I ever seen handcuff keys on an M16 bullet. And I'm going to explain to you why I mentioned a handcuff key on an M16 bullet. All of these police, they had the handcuff keys welded onto an M16 bullet and made it the key about this long instead of this long as the key. And that's what they use and take it off. First time I go through the joint, right? Just to show you how crazy this is. First time I go through the joint, I get up on the box, they take my handcuffs and the black box off, throw the chains down, and they go to take my feet off, so they told me to turn around backwards. I turn around backwards, he take off the right cuff, and then he taps me on the left leg, and instinctively, I go up on my toes. You know, instinctively, I go up on my toes, you know, like the ball of my feet, so he could take off the cuffs, you know, the shackles. When I did that, could you believe this white man said to me, "That a boy," like I was a cow, like I was an animal. He tapped me on my left leg, and when I went up on the ball of my feet instinctively, that white man said to me, "That a boy." You know what I mean? That's when I know I was in racist country, and everybody that worked in Oklahoma had that deep South accent. Not like they got in Virginia, North Carolina, They talking about, what y'all going, y'all thinking, all right, you city boys this and you city boys that, and you can't believe you city boys here come over here, start all these problems in operation, and this is how they talking. Even the women sounded sexy saying it, let me say that, because it was different. But now the man said, "Dad, boy," you know? So instinctively when he said that, I kicked my left leg at him, and he falls off the milk crate. You know what I mean? Now, why did I do that? You know what I mean? They jumped on me and whooped me so bad in Oklahoma. They whooped me and rushed me through there. Got one of the first ones, got already going to ADX for being aggressive. So they whooped me and they put me in this little cage, you know, the size of a kitchen nook table. You know those little tables you got in your kitchen? I mean, if I put my elbows up, they was touching the walls. You know what I mean? If I stood up straight, my neck was like this in the wall. This is America. Welcome to the American Federal Prison System, y'all. So if this is what y'all want, y'all go ahead. And they left me there until they unloaded every plane that came in all day. And we got there, you know what I mean? We got there by maybe 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And they was unloading planes till about 6, 7 o'clock in the evening. I spent 12 hours with my neck like this. Couldn't even stand up. I mean, it was totally ridiculous. You know what I mean? Here got my son calling again. Let's see what he into. You know what I mean? But...
Hello. This is a prepaid debit call from an inmate at Virginia Department of Corrections, Greensville Correctional and Work Center. To accept this call, press 0. To refuse this call, hang up or press. This call is from a corrections and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Yo, what up? I'm doing a video right now. What's up, family? You know, I'm talking about it. This is my son, Mahdi. Mahdi, say what's up to the people, man.
Good morning,
Wa alaikum salam rahmatullah. Yeah, I'm doing a video where I'm telling about the first time I went through Oklahoma City holdover. You know, so let me just finish this part, then I want you to tap in and you can let them know some of your experiences for those that don't know. You got a minute? Huh? I said, let me finish this part that I'm at. Listen to it. Then if you want to ask a question, you can ask a question or whatever. But I asked you, do you have a minute?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm waiting to go to school, but I can listen to them.
That's what's up. My son going to school. Round of applause to my son going to school in Virginia State Prison. All right? All right? All right, calm down, y'all. Calm down. All right. What's up?
I said, I'm getting that GED, trying to be productive when I'm in here. You my time out there. You taught me, man.
All right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You know, that's why I love him, because, you know, he listens. This is my son. I told him get his GED, get a couple of trades so that when his 29 years is up, he's been in prison 12 years. From he was, what, 19?
Yes, sir.
From he was 19. And how old are you now? Let him know again.
I'm 31.
He's 31. Been in jail 12 years because he wouldn't listen to me. But, you know, I wouldn't listen to my pops either. What happened?
I'm listening now.
All right, that's what I'm saying. Look what it took for my son to listen to me for him to get 29 years. So this is how you want your son to listen to you. Feel free to do it. You know what I mean? But I'm telling you, don't do it so you can be out here for your son and don't be away from yours like I was away from mine. But look, check, I'm in Oklahoma, right? To run it back real quick. I get in the airplane. They got me handcuffed and shackled. We fly to Oklahoma. It's a big-ass building, look like a skyscraper. I'm wondering where the jail is at. The plane pull up to the building, the tarmac come out, stick onto the plane, and we walk out the joint and go down this long-ass hallway, and they put me on a box about maybe 3-4 inches high. And when I get on the box, they take off my handcuffs. They tell me to turn around. I'm facing backwards to him. The man take off my right cuff. When he went to take off my left cuff, you know, he tapped me on my left ankle, and I got up on the ball of my foot. When I got on the ball of my foot, the white man said, "That a boy." You hear me? Huh? Yo, you can hear me?
My fault, man. I'm sorry that I didn't hear these people rule, man. Got no man, no respect now. I apologize to the world, man. Please, man, subscribe.
But like I said, the white man tapped me on my left ankle, and I got on the ball of my foot, and the white man said, "Dada boy, to your pops." He said that. You know how you
I know what you're saying.
You understand what I'm saying? So you know me, I'm not going for none of that. So I kicked my left leg back at him, and he was sitting on a milk crate because he was too lazy to bend down. And when I kicked my left leg, it's like I hit him dead in his face and he fell back on the ground. But it missed him though. I'm going to keep it 100. It missed him because he saw the foot coming. You know what I mean? But he falls off the joint. They jumped on me. They beat me so bad they put me in this little ass cell that if you put your hands together, my elbows would be touching the wall. And when I stood up straight, the back of my neck was touching the ceiling. And they left me there for 12 hours until they unloaded the rest of the plane. Then when they came to get me out, they had the nerve to say, "You've been in there long enough now, boy." He's still calling me a boy. You know what I mean? So, I told him straight up, "I don't care how long you put me in here, you're not going to disrespect me and call me no damn boy." So they said, "All right, well, come on out of there, boy." So they grabbed me up out of there. Of course, I was handcuffed and shackled again after being whooped. So now they keep me handcuffed and shackled all day and night until the next morning when the plane comes and it takes me to Colorado. So when I get to Colorado, I'm getting off the plane. Guess who they bring in to sit next to me on the plane? Tupac Shakur's stepdad, Matula Shakur. That's how I met Matula Shakur. On the way to ADX, he was leaving ADX because they put him there unjustly. And when, I allegedly stabbed the police in Lewisburg, they wound up bringing, they wound up taking out the unjustly, incarcerated men in ADX that they used to fill up the bed space. You know how they do that, to put the real ones in there they felt belong. And that's where I met him, and that's where I told him what happened in Oklahoma. He said, "Boy, you can't be doing that to them out, boy. You got to use your head when you deal with them. This ain't the street." You know what I mean? You follow me?
Right.
All right? So that's how we go. So then now, when I get back over, before I get to go back there, because I like to ride. So now, while I'm there, they got me in a cell. And while they got me in this little ass cell, they put me in another little ass cell, and I could hear people talking, and it sounded like it's coming through the toilets in the vent. So I go to the vent and said, "Yo, who's that?" And they telling me who they are. These are other dudes that was violent maximum security prisoners that was going to other prisons or whatever, or Marion or ADX. And they telling me who they are. And then I hear girls' voices. So I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck? We got monkey ciphers in here?" And they say, "Nah, they got the females upstairs, but we can hear them through the toilet." You know what I mean? So I said, "How you hear them through the toilet?" He said, "Oh, you got to take your cup and scoop the water out the toilet. Then you can hear clear without the water blocking the sound of the voice of the females." And dudes was in there, bent over the toilet, my D. Dudes bent over the toilet, talking to females in the toilet, and they having sex conversations with the females and masturbating while they leaning over the toilet with their ear in the toilet. That's how desperate it got for a woman. Could you picture that?
I can go for it,
You know what I mean? No, it's a true story. Anybody that been through, they knew it. That's why I tell these suckers and clowns that want to play these YouTube troll games, check what I say, nigga. You know what I mean? My shit official. This is the life I had to live that I'm trying to prevent your child from having to go through, the same way I try to prevent my own son that's on the phone. This is my biological son. This is not my son like in New York. We call each other sons. Now, so this was going on. Dudes is bent over the toilet, and they're masturbating with the female, talking about how they're going to suck them off, or how they want to hit from the back, and how they're going to ride them. And this is what dudes is doing. And I'm laying back, and I'm listening to all these different sex talks coming through the toilet. I'm not even going to lie. I keeps it so 100, my D. I'm going to keep it 100. I actually went and got my cup and drank the water out just so I could listen to the freak talk. You know what I mean? They had your old man stoop to draining water out of a toilet so that I could hear through the vent to listen to the females talk about getting screwed, because like this time they had me in there about 5 years in the feds away from a woman, and I definitely don't look at boys. So just hearing the female talk about how they wanted it from the back and doing this and that, I laid back and I went to sleep feeling good and just enjoying it. Before you know it, they bust the door, you know, and asked me if I want to go to rec. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's still dark out, and this is January in Oklahoma City. It's freezing. I ain't got nothing on but a little t-shirt from the hospital like, and a pair of thin pants and some goddamn flip-flops. Maybe that's why I hate flip-flops so much. They gave me some damn flip-flops and told me to go out and like 20 degrees. And my dumb ass went outside just to get out that little ass cage, and it was so damn cold. My feet felt like it was glass. It was so cold out there. And that's where I learned to do burpees. And I'm there. You know what burpees are, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm out there.
Full body workout.
Yeah, I'm out there.
They call us to go speed
Well, go ahead, man. Now it's good. I love you. Call me when you get back. All right. That was my son, Mahdi, man.
Using GTL.
Yeah, that was my son, Mahdi. But that's how real this thing is. I try to tell my son, you know, because his mama kept him away from me for his first 18 years. I got in touch with him when he was 18. I set him up with a job to go to Jersey, work in a hospital, getting $30 an hour, living with his brother, gonna get him his own car, everything he wanted. He said that he had a few loose ends to tie up in Virginia. And now the joke that I got on him is every time I talk to him, I ask him, did you tie those loose ends up yet? Because those loose ends wound up costing him 29 years in state prison. You see how real this is? You see how real this is? You know? But anyway, let me get back, man. Let me put my little intro on all that and chill, because I'm getting in my mood because I just talked to my son and all this crap. How is it, man? That's where we at, right? That's where we at. Now, that was in 1995. And at the time, that was like the worst prison I ever been through from the way they treated me, you know? But then now, you know, some of my time went out, I'm riding, go to Allenwood, you know, and then now I'm going back, you know, out west from Allenwood, Pennsylvania, and they put me back through that crap again, because at the time, I'm still a maximum security inmate. But instead, you know, of whooping me, this time they didn't call me no data boy when they tapped me on the leg and all that boy stuff went out, because, you know, a name like Waynesworth, they remember that joint when I came through there that I done kicked the police that called me a boy. So now I go through there, but they put me straight in the shoe. So I go in the shoe, I go out to Lund Park, get into it at Lund Park, and I'm leaving, coming back out west, back east, and go back through the same crap, you know. And this time, when I come back, I'm going back out west again. But this time I'm a medium. I'm not a medium. I'm a high security inmate, they call it. I wasn't max. I wasn't a high max no more. I was just a high security inmate. So now they didn't put me in the shoe. They put me in what they call general population. You go in general population, it's a big open area with nothing but like two floors of cells. You know what I mean? And they all cut off in different corners, but they real clean. There's nothing there because you're only there as a holdover. Remember, this is Oklahoma City we talking about. So, you know, and they give you brand new sheets, pillow, everything brand new they give you when you go in there. Brand new socks. They pass them out 3 times a week. Clothes, the food is good. And every day, I told you, about 10 planes, 20 planes come in. And all day throughout the day, they're bringing in new inmates and old inmates are leaving. So it's a constant change in and out. So this is like the information hub So, of course, I loved it. I know everybody in the system, so I'm meeting people coming in from lows and mediums and camps, going to pens, coming from pens, going back and forth, and they telling me as soon as they hear you from New York, you ask who they're from New York, where you was at, they telling you, and they tell you what they doing, what's going on, how the drug scene is, how the knife scene is, how the racism is, and it's the informational hub to find out what's going on in all other prisons, so God forbid you wind up in one of them, you know how to move. Now, I had a dude that came in there, and he came in and he told me that he rode to Oklahoma on the bus and he didn't have on no handcuffs and shackles. I said, so how did they move you? He said, in a bus with 30 other guys. I said, well, they was handcuffed and shackled, right? He said, no, none of us was handcuffed and shackled. I said, how the hell you wasn't handcuffed and shackled? He said, because we was in the camp. The camp inmates mix with the penitentiary inmates when you go to Oklahoma. So at least now I had a glimmer of hope to one day get to a camp, which I later found out real soon. When I say later, like 5 minutes after I asked a stupid question, how do I get to a camp? He said, nigga, you got life plus 20. You done allegedly stabbed 2 police, kicked the police in Oklahoma, sold drugs in every prison you've been in. You will never get to a camp. You know what I mean? But it was good wishful thinking. But then another dude came in to lift my spirits up and said, nah, but you could get to a medium one day. So I'm like, what's a medium like? They said, oh, medium, you get to order stuff from the East Bay book, and you know what I mean? You sit across from your visitors, and you know what I mean? You stay out till 11:30 at night, where in the penitentiary you going at like 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock sometime, and you know, it's like they still got weights on the compound. So at least now I got another glimmer of hope. All a nigga need is some hope. You know what I mean? To keep it moving. Just like once I file the papers, I'm riding. Just like gunshots. Just like when I file a motion in the court. You know what I mean? I want to win. You know what I mean? I hope to win, but I expect the worst, which is to lose. But just having that hope alive for 90 days or 6 months at a time, shooting a motion at the court, hoping that the judge feels your pain and your argument and let you go. Then you expect to lose. I lost probably over 50 to 100 times because I kept filing motions to keep my hope alive. That's why I wound up even learning the law so that I could learn how to file the motions myself instead of have to pay a dude to file a motion that's going to lose anyway. You know? I even thought the motion that got me out, that got me sitting here in front of you on YouTube was going to lose. You understand? Because I was so used to losing with them. But I kept my hope alive. I never gave up hope that I will be free one day because I knew God was going to get me. That's one thing y'all got to understand. God is going to give you everything you need when you need it. Not what you want, when you want it. Remember that. So I used to pray to God every night and say, God, please help me. Take care of my children, my mother, you know what I mean, my family and my loved ones, so that I'll be able to go home to them one day when you feel you are ready to release me and I'm ready to be released. And I said that for over 20 years, over 2 decades, and meant that. So when I woke up in the morning, I was still there, and later on that afternoon at 4 o'clock mail call, when I got another rejection notice to my motion, alhamdulillah, God is not ready. You know what I mean? And I just went on with my day and went back to the law library and looked for another motion to put in, because God give us the will to be able to work ourselves out of any situation we find ourselves in. So I knew the key to me getting out was in the law library. If you ever look at the law book, next to each statute and codes, they got a little key that looks like a real key. Because you got to find the right key. That's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. It's trying to find the key to get you out of these people's prison. But, you know, let's get back. So while I'm over at the joint, we're over there at Oklahoma, and I'm meeting all these people coming in, they telling me everything, and, you know, now that I'm a high security inmate, I was going out to Florida at the time. You know what I mean? The first time I went out to Florida. This must have been 2003 when I'm going out to Florida. This was during the time of when they had the spill in the Gulf where the BP, gas pipe broke and the whole Gulf over there by Louisiana and all that turned black. I was blessed to see that. It's messed up that I was blessed to see it with handcuffs and shackles flying in a government plane that if they hit turbulence, the marshals was going to jump off the plane and leave me to die. But I was blessed to look down and see the whole Gulf over there. Jet black, like my glasses. Far as the eye could see while you in that plane, it was black. I was able to see that. So I was able to, and that's how I treasured certain things that I was missing in society. That's why I remember the year. I remember the date. It was June 10th, 2003. And look it up. I got my prison sheet that show every goddamn cell, that I was in. I was on my way to Coleman, and we flying over this, and I see everything jet black. And I even said to myself then, man, I can't wait to tell my children this. This was in 2010. It's 13 years ago. So at the time, I didn't have any grandkids, so I wasn't even thinking about grandkids. You know what I mean? Well, any that I knew about. Because a lot of the mothers, they kept the children away from me, so I didn't know what the heck was going on. But I said, I can't wait to tell my kids this, And then next time I'm flying out there, 2018, now I'm thinking, I can't wait to tell my grandkids this. You see, I had to stay sane to know that, my kid's too old to hear this crap, so now I got to look forward to telling my grandkids, But this is the type of stuff that you go through when you break the law and you wind up in prison. Make sure you go to my Roku channel. It's the same name of this YouTube channel and my podcast channel at Spotify, iTunes, and all that same name. Download some videos on my podcast and check out the videos at Roku on your TV. But I'm getting ready to tap out, man, and I want to say, man, thank you everybody for the 50,000 subscribers. You're more than appreciated. I love you, I honor you, I respect you, and I treasure you if you follow the same code and conduct as I do. If you don't follow the code and conduct that I do, then make sure that you are truly a civilian. Then you don't have to follow these stupid codes. It's just when we enter this stupid street world, this is what go on, because we don't tell on our comrades. But if you ain't want to be put in that situation, don't enter that world. You don't have to worry about those codes to that degree, because you're doing everything that you're supposed to in society. You know what I mean? But let me tap out, give you the outro, because we in the building.
Cheers.
Keep it going. Keep it going. How was that?
Fresh out the can of 26, Heat back on the strip, getting back in the mix. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Take a little gully posse, put it in hard. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. An Instagram page and a YouTube, you could go and visit. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio.
I'm trying to do it now, but my shit is busted.
Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was wine. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend an ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community ours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.